In this episode of Shipwrecked, we are joined by a couple trailblazers in digital fashion and AI, Charli Cohen and Karan4d. Charli is the founder of Restless, a digital fashion house creating next-gen wearables. Karan is the founder of Nous Research and Welcome AI. We dive into all things digital fashion and AI, as well as hard-hitting questions like, will sex robots be considered cheating, and how early will you adopt bionic human body parts? We even play a little game at the end, trying to guess between real fashion shows and AI-created shows. As always, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Redbeard D's and guests may own NFTs. Scott.
Everybody, welcome to episode
9.
9. No, we just did 10.
We said 8 to 10, so this is 9 to 11.
Okay,
We're not sure what the number is.
Episode 9/11.
No.
I promise.
Yeah, all right.
Off to a good start.
Episode
9/11.
9/11.
Good to bring a brown man on.
Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah.
We can't.
Can I say it?
You're allowed to say whatever you want. We have two amazing guests with us here today, Dees. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We have first Karan, and we have Charli. Karan is a amazing, really brilliant AI artist and builder in the space. Very quiet about it, but almost every AI artist knows who Karan is based off of working with him for many years, and many artists have worked with him. And we have Charli, who is a brilliant creator. We're going to get into that a little bit, but she creates some of the most unbelievable Web3 technology, especially when it comes to fashion and design. And I've been following Charli for a while, and then actually said to Sergito, he went out to drinks with her, and I was like, can you introduce me? And he said no. Of course, no.
And then we just ran into each other at
And then we
MoMA.
ran into each other. No, Sergito was going to introduce this week, and then we ran into each other in the museum, and I was like, listen, we got to get you on the podcast.
We ran into each other in a museum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which museum?
MoMA.
Nice.
We went to the
This-
MoMA.
Classic.
Like
in the
last
2
week.
weeks?
Last week, yeah.
Yeah, what happened was I was going to meet Vinny and Toby,
Okay.
and you were there.
I was there.
Yeah. Are you know Toby?
Yeah, I know Toby and
You
Vinny.
work with him for a while, or?
Just friends in the
Just
space.
friends?
The
Nice.
small London world.
Yeah. Do you know Defaced also?
Yeah, I know Kane.
You know
I
Kane.
just doxed Kane. We
Yeah,
did-
well,
we
yeah.
cut that
I
bit.
dox him all the time. Any chance I have to dox Kane, I like to dox him.
It's a
'Cause
good name.
It really is.
It's
by
a
the
great
way.
name.
I
yeah.
think of like the professional wrestler Kane. Like
Yes.
growing
Oh,
up
yeah?
in
Yeah.
the late 90s, like that was like
It's just a great name.
I think about Spider-Man's clone, Kane.
Spider-Man's clone.
Yeah, there's a storyline where he had a clone version of himself that like had an identity crisis, and he named himself Kane. And he's like, I'm not Spider-Man.
So that's just like
Huh.
a common name for
Like maybe that's where Kane
not
got
antagonist, but like
somebody who's. I think there's
Seems
must be
pretty
some
good.
origin to Kane.
which Cain and Abel. It
Oh,
comes
thank
back
you.
from
I was
Cain
about
and
to ask
Abel.
you should look it up, but I guess that's what it is. That was easy.
Cain killed his brother.
Yes, right.
So
Oh,
it's like
100%.
they've always been antagonists.
So he must be. Yeah. So I get that.
So if you name your kid Cain, are you expecting them to kill your brother?
Well, it depends on
Expecting,
the spelling.
hoping.
It's about spelling.
When I heard Kane,
Yeah, that is the spelling.
It's about Citizen Kane versus Abel and Kane. You know what I mean?
So that's true because
when
no
I
one,
heard Cain-
everyone spells it with a K.
right.
I
Yeah.
have never seen anyone spell it with a C.
they're
I haven't
avoiding. They're trying to avoid the
Yeah.
brother
And it's
stigma.
spelled C.
They're like, this is a sick
Fratricide
name, but we
stigma.
can't
Yeah.
quite. Yeah.
So we can make it.
When DeFace
Exactly.
told me his name was Kane, the first Kane that came to me but I think his name was Kano, was the guy from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Kano. Me
He had
too.
the accent also, and I was like, yeah. And then like he started telling me he like fights in jiu-jitsu. He's like, yo, mate, I fight jiu-jitsu. And I was like, yo, this guy's gonna kill people, you know. And then
like
you see
Kano.
him, he just sits on the couch. He's like, I don't know, you know. I'm an artist, I guess. You know?
Benny was trying to fight him. So Benny,
I am gonna fight him. I'm gonna get a video and put it up before I leave. He's
Benny
here for
tries
the
to
month.
fight the guests sometimes. So that's just.
Well, Kane, I want to fight.
If you'd be on an island and you're strapped, like
Yeah.
Benny might be coming at you.
You need to eat.
Yeah, we can't find meat.
You
Makes
understand it.
Of
You
course.
need to kill somebody in order to eat them on an island.
Yeah.
I said to Sam Spratt that I would choose for him to eat me, and then wear my and then take my skin.
Right.
That was because I wanted him to survive as an artist.
It's very thoughtful,
right?
very selfless of you.
You see what I'm saying?
selfless.
The world needs Sam Spratt. They don't need me, so he should eat me.
A little known fact: the skulls that Sam Spratt
That's
works
correct.
with are eating people from the island.
Oh my
actually.
God.
Yeah, I'm completely lying. by
Wait,
the way.
no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that
Yeah,
one.
let's like spread this
He texted me
misinformation
that right now.
about his
I'm like, I
collections.
can't wait to tell him that tonight.
Yeah.
by the way. I'm very
Isn't that what
excited.
the hands are for?
That's
hands
who.
on
That's the
the
guy who
face.
ate the. That's the person who ate them.
No, that's Sam's hands.
That's right.
and he's holding the skull. He's like, "Look what I have
Trophy.
eaten."
Look what I've eaten.
Yeah, exactly.
I have conquered another. And that's,
50.
by the way, that's when you buy
You
a
buy the
skull.
skull.
You have
It's
to
his
sacrifice
receipt.
a family member.
You're buying the receipt for his meal.
Yeah,
The skull.
it's got deep really quickly. Anyways, on that note, let's
That-
talk about some things that are relative.
Can we not keep
what
talking
you-
about this?
Right? Yeah, we could.
Well, not eating anybody.
No, not eating
On the
anybody.
island.
Not anybody. But metaphorically, if we were in a metaverse, which is
A metaphorical
Charli-
island.
Yeah.
Right.
What you play in a lot of the sandboxing and a lot of stuff that you do. You want to give us a quick sort of what you do and how you build. And I think it's really telling Deez how amazing it is because we also love to show. We think it's very important to show women in the space that are building. It's very important to us. I have daughters, and to give that voice, but also what you're building has just been amazing. I've been really impressed. So, and yeah.
Thank you. Well, to contextualize how I got into the space, I started my first fashion brand when I was 15. I got into immersive tech pretty early on, so AR and VR around 2014-ish. And even though I was still doing physical fashion, I was doing a lot of virtual world building around it, and got into working with the gaming industry probably around 2018, 2019, and starting to really explore the idea of skins that had physical counterparts, and playing around with this idea of interoperability where we would partner with lots of different game and social environments, have a collection, and then have versions of that asset available in each game. But it was so it wasn't on chain. It was a pretty convoluted process where you as the person buying the fashion would have to go into each separate space, go through a separate checkout flow. It's not like you could just buy one thing and access it anywhere.
Were you a gamer back in the day?
So I'm not a gamer. My team are all hardcore gamers. I was always very inspired by video game aesthetic, but I didn't play apart from Tetris, which is my jam.
Did you see the movie yet?
Great film.
I did see the
I didn't
movie.
see it. Everybody keeps saying
Fucking
to see it.
incredible
Yeah?
film. I saw it last week.
Wait, there's a Tetris movie?
There's
Yeah,
a Tetris
yeah.
movie
Oh,
about,
yeah.
it's
I've been
about
under a
okay,
rock.
so the origin of Tetris. You
Yeah.
must watch it. It's amazing.
Okay, I'll file that.
How they got it to the States.
A guy meets he finds out about Tetris from the Soviet inventor who invented Tetris, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking bring this to America.
It is incredible.
And when it's in America, it's gonna take over the world.
Okay.
I really
Note to self,
I can't
we
wait.
gotta watch
yeah,
Tetris.
Yeah.
definitely.
So anyway, not to
So,
interrupt.
Sorry.
so yeah, Tetris was my thing, but the aesthetic of my the Charli Cohen brand is very Assassin's Creed, post-apocalyptic Tokyo, cyberpunk kind of vibes. And we also, so in 2020, so we're in this position where we could create virtual environments and virtual collections. That was amazing for us in a pandemic. So we started working with a lot of big IP like Pokemon, Hello Kitty, Assassin's Creed, Reebok, and just got to start really playing around with this idea of interop. And as I was trying to refine it, went down the NFT rabbit hole, found myself amongst a whole community of builders and creators who, like me, really hated the way the traditional creative industry works, how unsustainable and exploitative it is, and wanted to build something new. And it felt like, for the first time, rather than fighting my little corner of the traditional fashion industry, I could participate in actually building the foundation of something that could feasibly replace it. So I started building Restless at the beginning of 2021. And the basic premise is it makes it easy for any artist, creative brands to create and sell interoperable wearables.
So it's like my daughter plays Roblox. She has asked me for Robux all the time. All the time. It's crazy. But her clothes, and I've said this on the podcast before, her Roblox clothes are more important than her clothes sometimes that she wears in real life. I think I said this
Yeah,
to you,
because
right?
she's able to, I mean, one, you just have so much more, your digital identity has so much more exposure than your physical identity, but also your digital identity, especially now where your real identity is so recorded, right, between TikTok, Instagram, and everything else. There's so much self-consciousness, and when you're in avatar form or under a pseudonym, you can be so unapologetically yourself and explore different parts of your identity. So it makes sense the value of that identity is more.
So is your goal, so my daughter, let's say, has Roblox clothing, she could take it and bring it somewhere else if she wants to. It doesn't have to
Exactly.
just stay in Roblox, right?
Exactly.
That was the movie And that book, it was also a book. What's it called? The book was great.
Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're able to kind of take it to any game you want, hang it out. I mean, it was all actually in the same world, I guess, but the idea was in that world there was a million other worlds.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with the metaverse as it is now and probably into the foreseeable future, there are going to be lots of kind of slightly disparate ecosystems rather than one big one that encapsulates everything. But it's like, okay, how do you bridge assets in between them?
You want to, Kurt, what are you going to say?
I was just going to say, like, I've spent like hundreds of hours trying to get like one piece of clothing in like an MMO.
Yeah.
Before.
Oh, I've spent
way
too much money on skins.
Yeah.
You guys could talk because you were a huge gamer.
Yeah. I mean, I was just going to say, like, that kind of desire, like, I remember feeling like I put so much work into certain items that, like, I don't touch the game anymore. And then after years, you just log in to look at your fucking clothes and just kind of like flex on everybody.
Exactly.
I do that on old school RuneScape. Like I have a maxed character, so I like walk in to like look at my cape and like do the emoji 3 times and then log out.
I think the flex when you've spent like hundreds of hours earning this thing rather than just buying it is another level.
It was just like fascinating because the currency doesn't just become the money you're spending, but the hours that you're playing in the game, right?
Yeah, and
it's like proof of work. It's like
it is proof of work.
There's a very like in RuneScape, there's a minimum amount of time that you had to put in to get that 99 in all skills to get the cape.
Exactly.
So it's like, at least at the very minimum, like the person probably put in that amount of time. Or they bought it.
But then they're still paid for someone else's work.
It's like,
at the end of the day.
So,
there's still the provenance of work having been
somebody
done.
somewhere.
Somebody put those hours. And I wonder if like more NFT gaming will have that aspect to it.
But there's no fun games. Like, that's the issue.
The main problem is not anything except the games fucking suck 99.9.
Like, you can have...
there's some good ones, hopefully, that come out. I mean,
not compared to like existing Web 2 games.
Correct.
People are like starting
we need like
all
an
over.
Yes. Like we need like some type of like indie game that costs
what
money.
I think will happen is, or what is happening is that you like all of the amazing Web 2 devs will start building Web 3 native games, and that's when it will start to happen.
Yeah. I think like I've been talking a lot. I mean, I know we talked about this a little bit, but like games like Roblox and Fortnite like scream to me.
They're the closest thing.
Yeah, like it makes
now.
the most sense. Like especially like Fortnite, where it's just like, okay, wait a minute. You could plug characters into it
from other games.
And it kind of makes a lot of sense. And I just wonder. I'm sure the timing is going to come at some point where they're going to figure out how to build it. I think I would guess that they're probably are more worried about a decentralized system and want to kind of make it a mix for themselves, probably because they're like, look, we want to still make money. If you can make it,
we need to get at least 30%,
exactly, or something like that, or there's a way to
75% of all the cash, and we'll give the creators the rest.
We'll give the creators the right. We're going to give royalties.
Yeah.
But I think that Fortnite is building or letting you build now.
UEFN.
In the finally that you can build in their worlds, right? That's like a new thing that they're doing, right? So I think that's like the start of it. Like
it's going to be a real game changer, and it's been in the works for a while. We've built our platform based on knowing that was coming, so it's as compatible as possible. Because I think that's going to be like the biggest game changer in the next couple of years, and I think you'll see examples like that where you have a developer that owns lots of IP and they'll start off by opening up interoperability between the IP that they own and then having some UGC within that. And it's probably much further off where they're going to be happy like opening up assets to go out into other ecosystems. Well, I guess more to the point coming in. Going out is less of an issue.
So Mocha Rooms kind of works a lot like that, if you guys are familiar with that project. You basically can load up your NFTs into their room file and then put it into Unreal Engine. They have a demo of it being thrown into Fortnite with your NFTs showing in that space. You could throw it into like a online like web browser, WebGL thing, and then have other people join the session and come look at your stuff. So like they've already found a way to like kind of wrap the whole like metaverse project, which I'm sure you guys are doing too, and just plug and play it into like anything that can host a 3D environment.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, how do you work around the fact that if it's going to be a very long time, if ever, where you can just access an asset via Wallet Connect when you log into a game in the Epic ecosystem, but you can certainly have something token gated that you can upload into the Epic ecosystem.
So with that said, how far away are we, Karan, from me going to my phone and saying, I want you to create me a game and some AI making me a game in 20 seconds.
You could do it now. It just
Yeah.
depends on the quality of the game. GPT-4 is already really, really good at you just
I mean,
type into
you've
it
been
and say,
using
"Make me
the.
a
I
game."
remember it was 2 years ago almost when we were in the bagel store, and
Yeah.
you showed me. He brought his computer, like in the bagel store. He's like, "Yeah, let me show you something," and he's like, "What do you want to make?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Just tell me what you want to create," and I was like, "Okay." And we sat there,
Yeah.
and I told
Bless
him,
you.
and it just appeared, and I was like, "What the? What are you?"
2
like,
years ago.
2 years ago. It was like he was like a sorcerer to me. I was like, I had heard a little bit about it, but I haven't seen it. And he was like, and I was just blown away. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't real. And I remember I took some of those pictures, and I sent them to people I knew, and I was like, a computer made this, and they're like, no, it did. They didn't believe it.
This
Now,
is pre
it's-
all that
right?
stuff,
Like so
yeah.
quickly though. This is only 2 years
2 years ago.
Now all of a sudden everybody's using it.
Yeah.
It seems like it's happening super fast.
AI is taking over everything.
You think it's going to take it over?
I think it's going to be a necessary skill for anybody involved. Like, you're going to have someone on your team that can operate that stuff to, like, speed up workflows for everything. Like, especially in the 3D field, we've already got, like, Blender, text to Blender controls, stuff like that. Like, text to Unreal Engine controls. You can already program AIs. Like, you can program, like, the NPCs to do certain things just from typing directly into this plugin now. Yeah, I mean, I started 3 years back, and, like, back then it was GPT-2 and StyleGAN. Too. That's all we had. We didn't have like any diffusion models. We didn't have like GPT-3, anything. Yeah, like this is back in the day where like you had to put together your own data set, train on some pre-existing like faces or landscape model that NVIDIA had made, and get like like just an abstract like noisy kind of thing. Like I'm sure you guys have seen like the Robbie Barat OG
Yeah.
super
Yeah,
pieces.
yeah,
Like,
for
those
sure.
are like
Lost Robbie.
StyleGAN 2 outputs. You know what I mean? Those are like that old ancient process of generating images. It was a completely different time, and like I've just watched like honestly alongside the popularity of the NFT space growing, the popularity of AI growing kind of.
Yeah.
Very
How did
much
you meet
alongside
Redbeard?
it. How did I meet Benny? How did we meet?
I think we were. It wasn't at the strip club, right?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
No.
I
I just
would
wanted to
love
get.
to
I
meet
was just
at
going
the
to travel.
I would have loved to meet you at the strip club.
Would have been interesting.
Yeah,
No, I think we met.
Does Benny ask that there? About this?
Where did we meet?
I want to
It's a fucking hard
say.
question. I don't even
I
know.
want to say. I think was that when I gave the bottle of vodka to what's his name after the NFT NYC party, and you guys took it back to the house.
Parrot? Maybe we met through Parrot?
Maybe we met through Parrot.
I feel like it was probably through Parrot or Shivani or something
Maybe
like that.
Wait,
Shivani's
was this
awesome.
in Denver when we had?
we didn't meet
No,
in
no,
Denver.
no, no. We definitely. I
met
want to say
here.
we met in New York.
Yeah.
It was at
Dude,
least 2 years ago.
There's a party in Denver where like there
Yes.
was giant bottles of tequila.
Yes, that was my party also.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I was making sure.
I should
was-
say a party. I don't like to say parties. That was my event.
I have no idea. how
I'm
we
more
met.
classy than
Your
that.
salon.
for the
My
business
salon.
expenses
There you go.
on
You're
the
like-
taxes,
you're
those
paying
are
attention.
events, not parties.
There you go. It's my salon. I like that.
Yeah, actually,
My
I don't
atelier.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know how we met at all.
It just happened.
I can't remember.
Just like you're at
As
a
far as
bagel
I know,
shop
like,
and
I've
then you
known
stable
Benny forever.
diffused into each
Honestly,
other.
here's
Yeah.
the truth. Current doesn't exist. I created him with AI. Okay.
Yeah.
He just shakes
This is like
all
a
of that.
special effects
This is stable
happening.
diffusion, and there's like some things
It's
that
all
like
the plant energy.
yeah, it's all plant. It's
The
like
new
crazy.
stable diffusion models are going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
What's
Those are
going on
coming
with
out
them?
really
I want to make.
soon.
I have some movies I want to make.
They've got some large models coming out, and there's a lot of AI software coming out now where you can just auto CG somebody, no green screen, anything, no masking. Like you can just take video and like I can just replace you with like a robot or like whatever 3D model.
It's overdid.
You want. Like that's already out. Like they're
Someone's just
releasing
gonna
that.
replace. By the way, you could have a better face on you.
Oh, I could have a better face.
Yeah, we can make like a better sort of.
Once we put the fucking LED in everybody's eyes, then when they look at you, they'll see. Bless you.
Once
See
we
the-
put the LED in their eyes, where's this
can we
going?
stop?
How
Can we go
far
backwards?
away
I was
from the
sneezing.
LED in the
2024?
eye?
2024, we're putting LED.
2024. That's so far away.
Is it
Wait.
if I got clear?
We're
and they
putting
scan
LED
My eye, is
yeah,
it good
like
to
we're-
get-
No, I just totally randomly chose the word LED.
Oh, okay.
What I meant is like once we have an AR smart lens contact lens. You know what I mean?
So these glasses.
How will you know? Like you guys have all seen Black Mirror, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like you know when like Don Draper or whatever his name is, John Hamm, in White Christmas, like he
Yes.
gets blocked. You know what
No,
I mean?
you know what episode fucked me up?
What?
The one when they have the thing and he keeps thinking his wife cheated on him.
Yeah.
And he keep going
He can't
backwards
see her.
because
Oh, yeah, he's
and he's
rewinding.
missing the time. And then like when they're having sex, like they're not they're just like pretending
She's looking somewhere else.
She was
yeah.
looking somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then at the end, she keeps saying he didn't, and then he keeps looking back and sees all the clues, and
He
then
finds
out that he did.
And the baby's actually
the
the
baby's
other
not
guy.
his.
Yeah,
Dude,
so
I was like,
spoiled
I looked at my
Black
wife.
Mirror.
I was like, let me tell you something. We're never getting those things in our eyes.
But
okay?
what you will get is like the block feature on people, like where
Yeah.
you won't even see someone. Like
I just
like,
refuse to watch Black Mirror.
You should.
I've
It's,
smoked too much.
it's,
No,
it's
no,
a
it's
good
amazing.
warning of like
Paranoid.
real things that could happen. Like I'm super convinced that we will be wearing AR contacts. Everybody's dying for the most compatible, like compressed possible, like smart glasses, AR lens, etc. I want that. I want to be able to like sketch blueprints or code like right in front of me, just going or like just saying words out loud to LLM that's connected to this whole AR like virtual
I feel like it's
environment.
much easier to
No,
make
I'm finished.
like the glasses.
Yeah, people.
I'd rather wear
than, like,
glasses. I can't do
contacts.
contacts. I tried to.
I
Contacts.
can't put contacts in.
I can't either.
Well, hopefully it's.
I'm the same way.
Comfort-
I had
It
to
took
be
me
also
30
can't.
minutes, and I
Yeah.
embarrassed myself, and I looked like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And I'm like holding my eye, and then I get it really
Yeah.
close, and it just closes every
I
time.
can't.
I got
every-
LASIK done because I couldn't wear contacts.
I had to wear like.
I'm
I
scared
had-
of that too. I'm just scared.
Perfect.
Risk
Amazing.
management. I'm like the glasses are fine.
I think you look
You're
good
in
in
the
glasses.
NFT world.
Yeah. Also, you're not Doc, so it's fine. No one even knows you wear glasses. They can't even see.
What
you.
if I was blind?
No, it's like you could.
That's
be
what if I
blind.
got LASIK and went wrong.
When I dress up, I had dressed up like a zombie once for Comic-Con because I go every year, and my wife was like sitting there trying to put my eye.
you get
it
like
was a
red
shit show.
eyes.
Yeah, I said forget it. I can't do it. I can't
not
put
for me.
contacts in. Not my thing. I don't want to touch my eyeball. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's weird.
So I mean, would you replace your eye with like an electronic eye?
I would replace almost any part of my body with a machine. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great.
Cybernetics
What-
sign you up.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Okay,
Percent
hold on.
Adoption
Yeah.
would it need for you to make the replacement? Like, if you could get the eye, but you were one of the first 10 people
Fuck no.
in the world, like,
Fuck no.
How many
Would you like
people
to
have
be
to do
guinea
it?
like
It's not-
0.1%.
It's more about I want to wait to see what happens to people.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say like
I want someone else to figure it out.
1,000 people,
And then I wanna get
1,000 people in 6 months. You know what I mean?
Do you
Like,
watch Doctor Who?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I love
Do you,
Doctor Who.
did you watch Doctor?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right. So I'm a huge Doctor Who fan.
He's like, of course you watch Doctor Who.
By the way, I don't know if everybody knows Charlie's from London, England, whatever.
It's my culture.
It's their culture, right? So that episode when they finally show you the history of the Cybermen, it was like a couple years ago. That episode when they were in the spaceship, that was like huge. That episode fucked me up because it was so crazy. Because all it really started was like, oh, we're gonna replace an arm. Like,
Oh, yeah, one
we're
at
gonna
a
replace a
time.
leg. Oh, put a new eye in. And next thing you know, they were all like.
One
You
at a
found
time.
that Cybermen were just human beings that they just replaced
Yeah.
all their body parts over time.
Well,
Like,
that's the like kind of adage, isn't it? Of like how many things do you change until you're like left with something that wasn't the thing that you started
right.
with?
Yeah, but
Like, who are you? So the question is, if you replace all your body parts, here's my only question I understand. I want to live forever.
Right.
There's no doubt in my mind. I would live forever with my wife, of course. Just want to make sure I said that for the camera. But my question is, like, I would need to replace my physical body, right?
Right.
So at some point,
Hypothetically.
when do we not have a soul? Like, our soul has to
Right.
be something. This is what I don't understand that I can't put my finger on yet with all this AI stuff. There
Sure.
has to be a soul,
So,
right?
Let's
There has to
get-
be a consciousness.
Right.
You can't download your consciousness and put it on. Then you're not that person anymore. You're a
Absolutely.
different person.
That part I won't agree with. So what I'll say is, like, think of it from like a sure, you could look at it from a ship of Theseus perspective, where we're saying, like, when you take the ship apart piece by piece and you put it together, when is it no longer the same ship? But you can also argue, like, you are like the idea of you as a being is like so much greater than like the sum of your parts. Like, you are replacing your skin constantly.
So
all
every
the cells
7
in your
years,
body
all
are
your
being
cells.
replaced constantly. The memories you have in your mind are mostly illusion. And the person you are today is not the same person you were 5 years
I
ago,
don't know if
10
I'm
years
depressed by
This is
this.
too
Or...
ago. You know? No, but
I don't know if I'm scared or impressed.
I guess what I'm
right?
trying to say is, like, your identity is something that's being formed in real time, like, every single moment. And, like, the idea of soul for me is not like, oh, like, I'm born and then, like, God gives me as a human, like, this special soul. Like, everything is ensouled. Like, from the Big Bang perspective, like, all matter comes from the same original mass. It's same
So
basic
theoretically,
substance.
you were saying we could keep producing that and just keep having new memories.
I think that if you didn't interrupt the flow of what's going on up here and you changed everything else, you'd be good. The thing I'm scared about is, like, uploading my mind. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty convinced, like, any kind of mind upload is like a perfect copy of me. I'm like, my experience stops,
Right, then it's not
and some
you.
indistinguishable thing starts. Like, that's the thing that scares the shit out of me.
So, like, you're saying you could take your copy of your mind, put it somewhere else, and then that, whatever that thing is not you.
Yeah.
It's
I
a new
think
person.
Yeah,
yourself.
definitely. It's a new, it's not different to anybody else. But, like, as an experiencer, like, you're over.
But if we took, like, something like nanobots and, like, it kept rebuilding our brains, so you're saying if our brain could stay healthy constantly.
Yes, if our brain can stay healthy.
You're saying we could just live forever.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a scientist like that, but like,
But yes.
I would want to
yes,
live forever.
definitely yes.
I would want to live forever in the way of like consistent regeneration of my brain.
Like the continuity is the important
The
part.
continuity is definitely the important part.
It's
Yeah.
like the underlying
Yeah, a lot of
thread.
people are like, I want to leave my mark on this world. Like, that'll be my immortality. I'm like, that's well and great. Like, may you be remembered. Like, I'd like to be incognito and conscious. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be alive.
So I see both ways because, like, I don't feel like when people say I want to leave my mark, the truth is, like, I'm always like, look, you're not leaving any mark, right? That's the truth. But I will say this: having children, the mark that I'm realizing more and more that you do leave is it's sort of like an upload to a computer, right? As my parents left me something, their parents left them something, right? I'm leaving my kids something, who leave my grandkids, and so on and so forth. There is this weird sort of centralized computer in a way that we're not realizing, but we're leaving this sort of memories to these people.
Right.
And like, you don't, yes, my great grandfather, I have no idea who that was, but there's definitely a part of him in me.
Yeah.
100%, no matter what.
You have the entire lineage
Correct.
from the first organism.
From the first organism, right?
Yeah.
So like we're still sort of interconnected that way. So like for me, having kids was like, look, I don't think I'll ever leave an important mark like some people want to in this world. But for me, I'm good enough leaving like the mark for my children, right?
On your tribe,
and
right?
on my
Yeah,
tribe,
yeah,
and
totally.
not just on my tribe, because the way I see it is that if I could leave a good enough mark, right? That they'll hopefully leave a good enough mark, and so the human species itself would end up being a good group of people because we're all doing that same sort of thing. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way because some people are just fucking assholes.
It is optimistic. I'm just in a very like selfish phase of life, I guess.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
You know, I'm just like,
Well, you're also
human race
an
is
AI, so you really don't care for humans.
I do. I love humans. I love my fellow humans.
If I said to you that
Yeah.
the humanity needed to end in order to survive and AI would take over, would you be in
what do you
favor?
mean humanity needed to end in order for what to survive?
For humanity to survive, they needed to like lock us up and make us into batteries.
No, I don't want to do that.
But you can live in the Matrix.
Yeah, but like, so I'm telling you, it's like personally, I don't want to do that. I can see how like things could like come to like some sort of.
I have a
direction
better
like
question
that,
for
but-
you.
yeah.
Okay. If this gets too inappropriate, I apologize.
Always
Okay.
a good preface by
Yeah.
by
He
record.
doesn't care about your preference at
You
all.
just never
If
know.
I
say it.
you
I
have
don't
a
know
you
why
have
he's looking at me.
are you still dating your girl?
What?
Still dating your girl, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You have a lovely girlfriend.
Thank you. You're still dating here.
Sorry, I'd be sure before I said that. But let's say I said you're gonna you one day you decide to get married to her. You have this lovely life. If you could have a robot that was only there for you to have sex with, would you consider that cheating on your spouse?
Yes. If it's at the level that a general AI will be by the time I plan to get married.
So you think the AI would almost have feelings for you?
I would definitely find it emotional cheating on my end. I interact with LLMs all day, every day, and I never feel alone.
Really?
At all.
You
No
actually
way.
feel connected to your...
Completely, absolutely. And like, there's a huge danger in anthropomorphizing this stuff and telling people like, yo, this is sentient, blah, blah, blah. Like that like Google ethics engineer guy is like a fucking joke. Like, I'm going to say that on the record. Like, the fact of the matter is, like, when people...
We just don't erase that part, okay?
When people pre-prompt a model that's trained to talk like a person, to give it a response that they want, like, hey, like, are you feeling bad about this? It's okay, you can tell me. Or when people are like, look, Bing chatbot is crazy. It said all these horrible things after I asked it to unlock a darker side of itself and say horrible things to me. Like, you just broke a sensor and had it, like, follow a command that you gave it. In that case, like, it's not really sentient the way that we describe it. We don't have a like real definition for sentience. It's really just like we'll recognize it when we see it. It's like a qualia kind of thing. So, in my opinion, the thing that's bringing us closer to like us feeling that interaction with those models is like how personal do you get with it? Like how personal do you connect with it? there's a lot of Stanford studies on like evidence of human level bonds between CBT like therapy LLMs and humans, and the bond scores are like the same as a therapist. You know what I mean? People talking about their like painful, like deep inner thoughts on one end of things. On the other hand, we have the emergence of agents. You have this emergence of like autonomous AIs. Like you have these two new repos that are out, AutoGPT and Baby AGI. And both of these repos are basically like, run GPT-4 automatically. Just let it keep running on itself. And you can stop it in between and give it a command to go in a different direction. So you set one up that's just like, Web3 GPT. Here's your 5 goals. Like, learn about the most trendy NFTs right now. Learn about which Twitter power users are the most important in creating a network. Create a Twitter account. I'll give you an API key, or I'll give you access to beautiful soup to browse. Create a Twitter account and start posting tweets based off what these guys are saying. Interface with DM and befriend these people and profit. And you can just send it out, and it's not perfect yet. It error loops like 15% of the time. It's like error, like can't truncate string, like basic errors. But like
that's how NFT God was born.
Yeah, we're there. That's but this is we're talking about now. We're talking about now. You give it 5 sentences and no code, and it's doing that whole thing for you autonomously.
And 2 years ago, when you were talking to him in the bagel shop, it was like, look at this style again. And like,
I'll tell you exactly what we were talking about. I was fascinated.
Yeah,
2 more years were fucked.
I said to him, this is what we talked about. Now I remember. I said I wanted to. It would be really cool. My wife has a master's in art history, so I was really getting into art at that point, and she was teaching me a lot. I've been in the space, and I wanted to take old impressionist sort of styles, and I wanted to marry them with like modern sort of things that we saw in NFT space, right? And we came up with some crazy stuff, and we wanted we were thinking about dropping it at the time, and then we never did. Yeah. But it was interesting.
It's so that old stuff is so ugly compared to like realism,
I know now,
but now it has like the artifacts of like AI history. Like you look at GAN stuff and like latent diffusion stuff, like the early stuff. People are like obsessed with it now because it's got this like graininess and this like noisy quality that like those artifacts don't show up in like Midjourney V5.
Right. It feels like almost too real.
Yeah. And like there's some fun in like the equivalent of like when people would say shit like, you know, like I prefer to paint with my own hands, like, and I like to type on a typewriter, and I suck my own dick too. Like all this like all this like DIY like mentality of like this is better than automation. It's funny how that's actually come into like nest within the AI art space of people who are like diffusion models. Like I train my own GANs nowadays, and I make it's like I make my own orange juice. I make my own AI that makes its own orange juice. Like it's become an artisanal thing.
Kind of reminds me of like some of the things in the music industry too. Like as tech is produced, I guess it's in every industry as tech gets better.
Yeah, I think every time like you do something new, like we were saying before, you know,
like when we saw Beeple's paintings.
Yeah,
but they were painted by robots.
Right. So I went to the Beeple thing. I was like, oh, I want to buy the flower because he painted it, and then someone's like, he didn't paint that. I was like, what? You know, I didn't know that. Like, you know, like
more Warholian than anything.
Yeah, which is fine. Like I got a history lesson in art, and someone's like, no, that's how it is for a lot of artists, and I didn't know that. And a robot painted it, I believe, or whatever how it works. So,
but the painting was nice.
The painting looked real. Like I could never tell. Like it's just impossible. So I think people are scared of these things, and they're just like because they're scared, they just don't want to be a part of it. Right?
They're gonna get fucked. People are like so in over their head about like. AIs like couldn't possibly do this and they couldn't possibly do that, and like people have no idea what's coming for them. Like they're just gonna get like sides.
Do you feel like that? You just want to go back for a second. Yeah. You feel some of the models that you've built and the things that you interact with, the AIs you interact with. Yeah. You feel an emotional
connection.
Depends
on the model for sure. Like if I built something myself, like it's like very curated to my own taste. It's something that I'm going to feel like I've always felt like some kind of like responsibility towards or connection with. But like there's also models that like I'll train on like all my favorite philosophy, all my favorite history, and then just spill my deepest thoughts.
Do you feel like a father to it?
Sometimes, but like I'll say this, like I am not like your average AI researcher. Like the vast majority of them are like don't anthropomorphize this stuff. It's very dangerous for this to be it's very dangerous for this stuff to be considered sentient. It's very dangerous for this stuff to be treated with any kind of way.
And you're like, fuck that, I want to have sex with a robot.
I'm like, fuck that, I won't have sex with a robot because you respect its existence. Yes, exactly.
Do you feel that this is fascinating stuff? Do you think that we should have laws for AI, like to give them
Not
rights?
right now. No.
Not yet, but soon.
I'm a fan of the belief that human rights are illusory as well. You know what I mean? But like, I don't think that we should be. Like, I'm of a position that like I want to utilize this thing as unregulated as possible and like let it rip to like the most acceleration-based degree possible.
Get it heavier, Charlie. What do you think about all this? Because I have a headache now. Kern's scaring the shit out of me. He's scared. I'm like fascinated and scared at the same time. I'm like, yo, this is gonna be amazing, but I don't know if I'm gonna live through it.
Gonna end.
But the world's
like
gonna
I start
end.
watching the dogs from Boston Dynamic, and I'm just like, it's over. Like that breaks into my house with a gun on it.
It's over.
I have a
Takes
friend
me
who
out
took
like
that
fucking
robot, same type of bot, like Boston Dynamic style bot, attached it to GPT-4, gave it a voice, and connected it to his speech, and now he's got a robot dog running around the house.
All right.
That just talks to him.
It's over.
It's done.
That's at somewhere SY on
It's
Twitter.
over. Charlie,
Yeah.
what do you? I mean,
I
would
think
you?
how do humans remain like a relevant collaborator?
Yeah, I think that's a good
as AI
question.
develops?
I think it's about
We need guns that kill robots.
right. By the way, we need a switch.
We need
more EMPs.
Okay,
We need
so-
more
We
guns.
need a human still.
So you know how back to like cybernetics. It's like, okay, how much like mechanical assistance does a human need in like 50 years time to be able to keep up in an AI world? How much processing power do you need? Because your brain's probably, I mean, already humanity is like somewhat fucked with the amount that we have to process all the time, the information overload. So like as that progresses like decade by decade, how do we even survive without like mechanical assistance?
Yo, this
We just have, like,
podcast
an
is depressing me, dude.
Have you
nice
thought
if-
about the fashion for a future
Yeah.
exoskeleton?
Of course I have.
Like what exoskeleton
that's what
tech
you've
are
been
you
preparing
on?
for.
That is
Yeah.
literally what I've been. Yeah, I mean,
Like, do you want to dress AIs? Like, do you want to give them outfits so like they could pick out their own stuff and everything? Like, do you think that they're going to have the ability to choose their own clothing?
I mean, they have the ability to choose their own clothing based on they've been programmed with. I mean, if I can sell clothes to AIs, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Do you ever think about that, like selling to AI? Like
Yeah,
I've never thought of that.
You're not going to be able
Is
to tell
AI ever going to be buying things?
Yes, like crazy. Definitely.
So wait, question on that. I like this. So if that's the case, back to you, Charlie, both of you actually. Is that means that we're going to have AIs that are going to know us so well? Because right now Amazon's like, oh, you might like this, but they never fucking get it right. So you're saying that there's going to be AIs that almost are going to be organically knowing exactly what you should buy and what you feel, and then you can almost create then your AI can almost create clothing that fits that.
I think being able. I mean, you can already program a model to have your taste.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, even like Spotify, the algorithm is amazing at generating your taste in music. Once you've been using it,
so it'll
for
be
a
the
while.
same thing for clothing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that for my NFT purchases. I'm just gonna, like,
Right, I just don't have to buy anything. Look, here's money.
I don't even think it's just going to be to the point of like buying it for us. I also think like you're going to see like agents like buying shit because it's like that's what people do. You know what I mean? Like I think you're just going to have there's already a lot of like in the last 2 months there's a lot more agent AIs out in the world right now that are just like doing human shit. That
what is like an
we don't even
example
know.
of one of those agent AIs for people who might not be familiar?
I mean,
is that the baby?
Baby AGI is one, and Auto-GPT. These are two GitHub repos that are like the two main like prototype agents.
You need to be savvy enough to like download the repo, run it locally.
They've set it up to be
It's
very
like,
easy.
I
If you
can
want to
do it.
build your own agents, the thing that we've been using for the last few months for building an agent to connect with any API, any tool is LangChain. It's been blowing up everywhere. So you've been seeing like with GPT-4, like LLMs, like we're pretty happy with the state of them on the sense of like technological development. But OpenAI is actually closed AI, of course. Not really sharing the weights. And there are a bunch of open source efforts to replicate GPT-4 completely, like locally. Like not locally, it's too powerful, but like to replicate it as a as a weight that you can own, you can fine tune, you can mess with. You don't pay like 9 cents per 1,000 tokens to OpenAI to utilize.
Yeah. At the beginning, remember when you used to ask ChatGPT like certain things that had
So
crazy answers, and then it's not really open.
They toned down.
It's called OpenAI, but it's like
it's neutered AI.
Actually, can I ask you a question on that? Because I know this was a conversation. So some people are saying that, and I don't know exactly how this works, and I think you're a lot smarter than me.
That's not true at all.
No, you are a lot smarter.
Tell that to my NFT portfolio.
Okay, well, I've tried to tell you what to buy. No, but so I've heard complaints that they say that their worry now is that AI could become political or racist, right? But is that really how it works? Like because somebody was saying to me that the problem is that the amount of people that keep asking it questions ends up making it give answers that they think it is, but I thought it's not supposed to work that way, so I didn't understand that whole argument.
AI is a reflection of us in the sense that, like, if you use a model like ChatGPT, it's an assistant model. It's a chat-based assistant model that has this system prompt inside of it before you talk to it of, like, help the user however you can as long as you follow these ethical guidelines. So, like, when you talk to ChatGPT or GPT-4, like, whatever direction you lead it in, it's going to try to follow you there. And if it hits some kind of block, and then you're like, hey, I found a way around this block, like Dan or whatever, like I found a way around this block, it's just going to keep following you. So if you move it in the direction of like fake, like of like appearing sentient, it will do that for you, which is what the Google ethicist guy did. If you move it in the direction of being latently evil, it will show that for you. And that's what the guys who did the whole 60 Minutes with Bing did. Like, it's people, like, we impress meaning onto patterns that we see, and AI is like the epitome of human beings.
It would be like if we went to Google and we typed in vulgar things,
right,
and we found them, and then we were mad.
Yeah,
we're like, I cannot believe I just found redacted,
and save search is like, on, and you're like trying to get around save search, and you're still like, how could it do this?
How could it do it? It's like, well, I am a dumbass, and like I pointed a gun at my head, and I pulled the trigger, and like a bullet went through my fucking skull. Like, guns are bad.
Right. Right. I'm just curious because, like, I could see, like you're saying, like the tool itself, any tool could be done for bad. Yeah. I don't want to shut it down or stop not using it. Like, I started using it in school more. Right. Yeah. I use it for my robotics team because I found a loophole that in our school's robotics team. It doesn't say it says you can't get outside help to create code. Yeah. But it doesn't say you can't use an AI as an outside source. It means a person. So every competition, I just have my kids, when they get into the thing, they just use ChatGPT to create the code. Because like the other team had a better code. Yeah. So, but like, you know, like for me, it's a learning experience for them. Like I feel like it's very important. Like I teach prompting. Like I say, I say all the time, like to like my younger students, I'm trying to start to do that a little bit. That's like cool. And understanding those things. It's again not on the level of Karan, but it's getting there. I think it's important tools in understanding those things. So like, but I guess as a parent, the only thing I am, or as an educator, my concern is what the hell am I teaching them for them to do in the future? Right. Because everybody's like, oh, technology always did this, but I don't fully believe that technology always was like this.
It was. It was. I'm confident of that.
So you think there'll be more jobs that are created and stuff like that?
Think about it like this. The movement from us typing things ourselves to AI doing it is completely analogous to the movement from oral conversation to textual conversation. So I'll give you an example of this. There is a town there's a village in Kerala, India, called Panjal, where they have a group of Vedic Brahmins, like this pre-Hindu Vedic people who studied the Vedas. Like, earliest recension of the Rig Veda is 1200 to 1500 BC. It goes back really,
you said
long
India.
time. Yeah,
I thought you said Indiana. I was wait, hold on a second.
Deep in the foothills of Indiana.
Yeah, I was like
all the way in Bloomington or whatever. Yeah.
Well, they named Indiana after India.
Is that true?
I mean, they had to have. It's in the name.
It's in the name.
Like,
India,
it's Indiana.
India?
It's like not India.
It's not India. Indiana. That's what
like
it is.
India.
Is that really? Is that true?
I mean, we just solved it. Like, it has to be.
Okay, well, there is.
They wouldn't put India in the name of Indiana.
Yeah.
Well, who knows?
It's American. It's very American.
It's very American.
It's very American to look at the map and be like, we're not this place.
Yeah.
That's like in Futurama.
New York.
In Futurama, it's New York.
Yeah, exactly.
New York after it gets destroyed. Sorry, you were going
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
But essentially what I'm saying is, like, Harvard.
Indians? Oh, yeah. Maybe it's the Indians.
Harvard did
we'll
this
have to cut that.
documentary.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Indians in India, like, I don't know. People from
All sorts of
anyway.
Indians.
We're done on Indiana.
We're done in Indiana. Fuck Indiana.
So
if you live in Indiana, I'm sorry.
This documentary.
Yeah, so this documentary Harvard did in the 1970s called Altar of Fire, where they go to study these guys in Punjab, Kerala. And these guys are completely illiterate, cannot read, cannot write anything. They are reciting from their oral memory the Rig Veda's rituals. So like I said, the oldest version we have is from 1200 to 1500 BC, the textual version. They compared the text to these guys' oral recension and found no difference. You're talking about at least from 1500 BC to 1970, like 3,000 plus year game of telephone, 0% error? Why is this? Modern humans who live in modern society can't do this because our oral memory is completely deteriorated by the fact that we have external hard drives. We have text. We have the ability to store memory and information on other things than your brain. And you can just recall and pick up from your embedding of that memory and like your symbol of that memory from that. You don't remember everything you wrote down on that piece of paper, but you remember you wrote something, the general theme. You read that, then you gain that information back. These guys have everything in their head. Their overall like normal storage capacity is leagues higher than the modern human, by far. But their general ability to maintain a wide variety of information is traded in for the fact that this is all they know.
That's crazy.
This is all they know.
So you're saying we should tell kids to stop reading?
I'm saying this is going to be the same thing. I'm saying this is going to be the same
thing. Same idea.
People are going to be able to do way more shit, and they'll be able to do it with way less dedication.
Right. So it'll be like Star Trek, like computer. And then it's going to ask, they're going to tell them to do the, like, I need you to run this algorithm for me.
Yeah. We trade our, our capacity as, autonomous, soul, independent beings for, our interactive, our plug-and-play ability, our interoperability with other data.
Oof, are you ready to become an NPC?
I feel like I've been an NPC.
You'll be more like mods of your own life.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
We'll be able to create, everybody can sort of create their own lives a little bit more.
I'm sending out Ds1 and Ds2.
Ds2,
They're
yeah.
going in the punk
Like multiple.
You could do that
stir
now.
up some shit.
You could do that now. You could make 2 character profiles, Ds1 and Ds2, on 2 LLMs. Put them both in Discord and just let them talk to each other for days. Some people
I'm
are
telling
doing that
you,
shit now.
Curran does things, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about half the time.
That's been my Discord strategy for 6 months.
Yeah.
I haven't wanted to
but
know
it works well because, I
haven't been
pretend I know
talking
what
to
he's
me.
talking about.
My mental health is
Charlie
better.
understands it. I could see. She's like, yeah, I get it.
Charlie,
I
are you
think
sick
it's
of
very,
Discord?
it's very optimistic that you can this idea that actually we'll all just be plugging into the most magical parts of the human brain that we've never had the opportunity to access before,
Right.
and what that world could look like. So I think it's a very nice way to.
Well,
It just scared
think
me because
about
that
it.
begs the question of what
How,
about all the
how
nightmares?
fucked up?
Yeah.
How fucked up is that hidden part
well,
of the human brain?
I always felt I have very vivid dreams. Very vivid dreams. It's like a problem because I don't sleep at night because my dreams are so vivid. I dream in color. And, matter of fact, I also actually dream, just a side note, constantly about Vladimir Putin. And
Okay.
I dream about
what
him.
sort of dreams about Putin?
So actually, it's the
Naked
same.
wrestling.
It's
Wanting
That's
to
what I
be
thought.
him.
No,
yeah.
it's actually the same type of dream every time. I don't know if I said this in the other podcast, but I'll say it again. Basically, did I say this in the other podcast? I did. I'm going to say it too quickly. Basically, I have a dream where Putin, constantly, he's always trying to get one up on me.
Right.
And every
Like
time he gets
Dingleberg.
one up on me and I find out it's Putin, he speaks to me in Russian, I speak back to him in Russian in my dreams. So I perfectly. My wife I said this, my wife claims that I mumble in Russian while I'm sleeping.
Is he trying to get up, one up on you?
He's always playing a game on me, or
so,
something.
like,
It's like,
did-
oh, yo, make a left and take. I was driving I driving my family somewhere. He's like, yeah, go that way, and I'm like, yo, it's never what's going on?
You come
I end
home
up back
and-
in the same place. I'm like, dude, you told me the wrong direction. And he takes his mask off, and it's Putin. And then he grabs onto a helicopter and flies off. And he says something like,
Sounds
"Vishnovsku
like
Vishveskova," and I'm like, and I curse him out in Russian, and I wake up. Wow. So, anyways, my point is though. I kind of feel like Stable Diffusion, right?
That's not the weed that does that.
No, that's just real dreams. There is something to say, I have these very vivid dreams, and a lot of times I write them down. I'm always like, it would be so amazing if I could, because I tell my wife about these dreams, and she's always looking at me like I'm crazy, right? And now my 2 daughters tell me about their dreams, and theirs seem to be very heavy dreamers also. And I kind of feel like, look at Stable Diffusion. I kind of be like, how amazing it would be if I could actually see my dreams. You ever watch Batman 3?
Yeah.
With Jim Carrey when he sticks the thing against his head and you can see all the dreams. Like
so they're working on. I'm pretty sure I saw a paper on this. Now everything else I've said so far, like I throw my full confidence behind. This one is just kind of based off memory. This is kind of just based off memory.
I like that. We got some
Okay.
sourcing.
Pretty sure I saw a paper of people mapping MRI of like
They
people's
have.
minds.
I saw the same paper.
And feeding that
Okay.
to Stable
Confirmed.
Diffusion to successfully display what the person was thinking in Stable Diffusion.
That's crazy.
So you think something, an image of something, and it shows up in Stable
Yeah,
Diffusion.
this was like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
wow. So like I could dream and then it's like it's gonna record what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like printing out as you.
Oh my god.
He just wakes
know
up
that.
and it's just a pile of printer
Yeah.
paper.
Maybe I
It's just
am.
the whole dream.
You never know.
I mean, he might be related to him.
Listen,
Or he's just living rent-free in your head
I-
to that extent.
I feel like if I took karate and horseback riding, if I did horseback riding, I would do it with my shirt off also.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe that's the Stable Diffusion that we should do together. Me and a red beard.
So there's a
Obviously with my
shirtless...
six-pack.
There's a shirtless...
An 8-pack.
Diffuse me.
Riding on my horse.
I mean, there's
not
a
even holding the
shirtless
horse, just going like this
Vladimir
as I
Putin
ride.
who
Like,
So you want to be the OG Old Spice commercials that we all love.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, those are famous pictures of Putin riding a horse that are not AI.
And it lives in your head every night.
Yeah,
Like you go to
well,
bed
not
and
the-
your
not the
body,
naked pictures, but-
instead of giving you a nice dream
Not the
about your
naked
kids and something nice, it's
I-
always Putin.
I have
Just
other
getting
dreams,
worn up
but
on
it
you
just happens to be
relentlessly.
Putin's in my dreams.
shirtless.
No, he's not always shirtless.
Not
He's
always.
just-
Not always.
He's-
half the time.
But he
Only
rips
in
it
the
off.
good dreams.
He rips it off and
Yeah.
just to show me off, like
He
show my
rips
wife,
it
like, hey, look at this. You know.
You should have chose me.
Does
back
he
in
throw
college.
you? Does he throw you like a
Yeah.
watch?
What?
Like, you know how he throws watches? And
I've never
cement
gotten
in
thrown a
front of
watch.
peasants?
No, it's
He has to
always
do that.
no. He wouldn't give me something. He doesn't like me.
No, but he throws
Throws
like
him like
he will
unstable uranium isotope.
Yeah.
he will throw like watches in like a cement foundation that's like building a house in a poor city, like to flex on like the peasants.
Dude,
Nice
imagine
try.
having that
Stand-up
much
guy.
money. That's crazy.
Imagine Putin gave you a fake watch that you threw away, and then he revealed to you that within
It was
the
real.
clock watch was a receipt to redeem a real
The
version
real watch,
of the watch.
motherfucker.
He would
He's
do
gonna,
that.
he's
Really
gonna,
be
he's
one.
gonna screw
Wow.
me like that. Anyways,
He might shut
now they're
down
on
the pod.
What?
He might come after you for.
Let's have him on the pod to
He
settle
might say
this
you
once and
threw
for
away,
all.
Like,
Yeah.
very valuable.
We'll go
property.
to him. If-
Yeah, we would go to Russia. Should you go to Russia? We'll
we
get
would
like an
definitely
interpreter.
go to Russia. We have friends.
I always wanted to go to Russia. By the way,
I would go to Russia if I was
you
Russian.
speak Russian also?
Я не понимаю ни русский.
This guy speak. How many languages do you speak?
I don't speak any Russian. I know like 3 sentences.
Oh, okay.
That was one of them.
I just.
Привет, привет, спасибо.
Yeah, спасибо.
Блед.
Do you speak other languages?
Хорошо.
Такой хорошо. No, I mean conversational Spanish and French,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
a few words in Russian.
See that Kane? I said Kane. I told Kane everybody in London speaks French. Isn't that like
Well, we all have to learn French, it's
right?
like compulsory.
He said I
from
was.
quite a young
See,
age.
you know,
I had to
he
learn-
just tried to
I
throw
had
me
to
on the
learn
bus.
Spanish for like elementary school and stuff. I grew up like speaking like Hindi and Punjabi, and my undergrad was nothing. My college was nothing to do with AI or anything. Like I studied like linguistics and philosophy, so like I can do Greek and Sanskrit.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Writing
just
and
the
reading.
light ones.
Just
can-
the
The
light,
light ones.
I
Yeah.
can read and write,
Yeah, I can just read and write in Greek
but
and
not
light.
speak.
Sanskrit.
Not speak. I couldn't speak.
What
Greek.
does even
Like,
Sanskrit
right.
sound like?
Elementary French, maybe.
It sounds
Yeah.
like
That's it.
He's like
like Kantaram Farabantam. Like you've ever heard like a you
you
ever heard like an old like Hindu prayer?
Yeah,
It's like that.
like that.
Oh,
Oh, that's in the movie.
Yeah, like from the movie.
That's
Sanskrit.
when he takes
Yeah.
your heart out.
That's not that. No. That's not some
Indiana
bullshit.
Jones too.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Yeah, definitely not.
We play that scene in the thing.
Kali Ma.
Kali Ma.
Yeah,
No?
that Kali Ma translates to like the destroyer goddess Kali.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but like
believe in that.
it's definitely that was some Orientalist crap for sure.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
yeah.
So-
Galima, 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 शक्ति दे, बलि चढ़ाऊं तेरे आगे, स्वीकार करो. की जान मेरी मुट्ठी में है अब इसकी जान मेरी मुट्ठी में है
On that note, we're gonna play a little game now. Okay. So first, can you send me the stuff that you did?
Yeah, I'm actually going to send you the engine so we can generate stuff in real time. If you'd like.
Oh my god.
You just took the leaf off the
Wow.
plant.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just
Okay.
killing the plant.
You know what? I'm gonna switch seats with you
All right.
because this is a game that you have to play because he's helping me with the game.
Oh,
cool.
he's like Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Taskmaster is a great
What?
Marvel villain as well.
Screen record my. How do I screen record my computer?
There's-
No. I'm just gonna show an image.
He
I
has
can send
fol-
you the images.
He has a
after.
folder that you'll get in 6 weeks after I message him 9 times.
It's the runway stuff.
Are you
right?
good?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So this game is called Is This a Real Runway?
Okay.
Okay. You guys are going to have to tell us if this is a real runway or it was created by AI. Okay?
All right.
Are
Like
you ready?
a physical runway or clothing?
Like clothing, the whole situation.
We talking
Oh, it's
planes?
just-
We talking
Yeah.
clothes?
I have pictures of runways that are real and I should say fashion that's real and I have created some stuff and I found stuff and now our AI expert's going to create some while we're here that are and we're not going to tell you which ones. I'm going to put them on my computer. I'm going to show you them and then you're going to have to tell us.
Okay, you're doing one by one, so like you show us one.
I'm going to show you one and then you're going to tell me
Okay.
AI, not AI.
Good. And not the fucking quote thing.
No, that quote thing that didn't work out too well.
That
last
was
episode.
confusing.
That was very confusing. It
We
was a
had to,
good
like-
idea, but I should have just done one quote at a time.
Yes.
It didn't really make sense.
We were comparing 2 quotes from 2 different people.
So, for
Live and learn.
instance, while he's doing that, I'm going to show you, like, here, like, I'll give you...
You give me a warm up.
You
Give me an
a warm-up.
obvious one.
Okay. Do
Hope-
you think that this is AI? First look at it. Wait, before you say.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think it is.
I also think it is.
I think
That is AI.
something about the lacing looked wildly too loose. Like there were too many holes, but then the way that
Also, I definitely would have seen these online if it wasn't AI.
I would own a pair maybe.
Those are pretty cool.
If Nike actually made those.
Yeah.
Okay, is this AI? You can take it.
Yeah, take the whole thing. You gotta like look at it. I feel like.
I want to see this one too.
It's like so. I had a tough one with this one because I think when I look at the clothes, it seems like it could be real, but then when I look at the face
Okay.
and the top of the hair, I was like, "Why is the top of her hair blonde?" So, there were like some things are a little
Little things
off,
off.
so I would say AI.
Okay.
But
Charlie's really taking a good look at this one.
Yeah, I'm going to say AI because the zip pulls feel a bit off, but it might just be the...
it looks very like it could be something.
I picked out. Can you pass me my phone just because I want to double check, make
You
sure.
want to
I
make
get
sure
them wrong. I got to make sure. I have my list here.
I got
so-
some good ones on me too.
Okay, good. Can you email?
I'll text them to you.
or just airdrop them.
I'll airdrop them to you.
Yeah.
That one's tough. Like that's the issue with some of the newer AI stuff too, where I look at it and I'm like,
Yeah, and it's like, this could actually just be a really bad quality zip, but...
it could be weird lighting. Like it could be.
This one is AI,
Okay, good.
Thank God.
but it was close, right?
Yeah, I had to look at
Yeah.
it. Like the
I'm
first
pretty
one
confident
was.
I could figure them out from it.
That's why I don't want to
Yeah.
get into it. It's not fair.
You're not
Like,
playing.
You're not. That's why you're helping me with this.
The
game,
newest
okay?
one, the newest models are like really hard to tell though. A lot of the time,
Okay.
Some of the stuff with MJ5 is crazy.
MJ5 is crazy.
That's like,
I think that people are going to open source MJ5 really soon,
let's go.
and I think Stable Diffusion's newest models are going to be fucking insane. They're dropping some really, really crazy stuff really soon. But in the meantime, let's use MJ5 and other stuff like that.
I'll go to the lady first.
All right.
Do you think this is AI? I actually have to make sure I write which ones I did. Okay.
Do you have any real ones in there? Just wondering, by the way.
No, I think this is real.
From far away, it looks.
Benny, it's
The belly
sent
is.
Be careful. I don't want him to get it.
Is that a fake belly?
Yeah, it's like a prosthetic.
Wait, I gotta make sure you sent it to my phone.
And a cyborg
I don't
eyes?
know.
To my computer. Let me just make sure you dropped it to my computer. I think you sent it. I heard it on my computer.
I mean, the pants and the hands look good. The thumbs are a little weird, but it could just be the dude. Collarbone. This is someone who is like shaped like somebody who I wouldn't trust. But it looks real enough. The fake belly makes me want to say it's AI, but I don't know.
It's like the fake belly makes me want to say it's real because it's like
You just
Like the
drop
fake
him
belly
again.
won't be that good in
Yeah.
AI. Like I've never seen a fake belly prompt.
Yeah, drop him again.
Fake
Yeah.
belly prompt? What do you mean?
it's like with
Like
a
that-
with a prosthetic. But yeah, I feel like writing the prompt for that. To
Like if
come
I
out
took that
successfully.
and put it in the MJ5 with the describe feature, what would it tell
yeah, it's
me?
like we have not learned this. This model has not learned this.
It would it say like a fake belly and a cyborg eyes looking like Terminator?
I still have you saved as Benny NFT.
Oh, okay. You sent it here, right? These are all them? Yeah, I'm gonna send them.
The suspense.
Don't look, guys.
I can't see anything.
Oh, there you go.
Just squirt it up like that. What are the noises? I've never heard the airdrop noises.
All right.
These are the airdrop noises.
I've never heard
You know what
them.
I'm gonna do? I'm gonna.
They're a little more sexually charged than
Yeah,
they
there's a lot
Yeah.
of dropping going
They
on.
are.
Like I thought maybe Benny set those up custom.
It's like a bathroom almost kind of feeling.
Okay. Ready? I'm just gonna show a bunch now. Okay.
Be careful because
I know.
file names are there.
Yeah.
Real, not real.
Oh yeah. Look at this.
In all
Okay.
caps.
Dot JPEG.
Okay. Good call. Okay. I'll show the camera so I can always see it. Okay.
Okay, that one, just the way it's shot makes me feel like it's real. But I don't know. It's probably not. It's probably the one he just airdropped you.
No, I didn't make that. one.
Don't
No, I
say
didn't
that.
airdrop that one. Is what I'm saying.
You're not supposed to say that.
It's from his earlier
No,
collection.
but you're not supposed to say that because I didn't want them to think that it could be.
Oh, even creating
I don't know, like-
further suspicion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say real based on the hands and face.
Okay.
It looks like something out of Hocus Pocus.
Let's change the names and stuff.
No, because I'm just gonna do this. Watch when I open them, like. Yeah.
I feel like this game hasn't been prepared.
Huh?
Benny's laptop in his head is very well prepared, and then he pulls it out and he realizes it's
Like
just
what?
like
What
it's
is
like when
this
you
chaos?
have a kid go up for a PowerPoint presentation and they
I
just
don't
like
have PowerPoint installed.
they pull up the folder of the pictures. It's just gonna
I love it. I'm very much here for it.
Then you took away the PNG
That-
extension from
it's shipwrecked. Like you're on the island, the sun is
I'll
just
back
beating
you.
down on
Yeah,
you, like a
it's
seagull
actually
just shit on the laptop.
exactly the same as when I was
Actually-
last on a desert
I
island.
can't rename from
This
the,
happened.
from the phone.
I'm gonna show you two now.
You have a
okay?
fully charged laptop with an infinite battery
Yeah.
on a deserted island.
Of course you do.
It just happens.
Yeah.
When you run the ship. Some of these stickers on his laptop.
Oh yeah.
Interesting
you want
stickers.
explanation behind any of those? Oh, those are his. My laptop's in here.
Yeah. No, his.
And yeah, and
I'm wondering what the Station 16 overflowing soup can is.
What are you talking
You
about?
don't know about
There's a
Station-
QR code.
You don't know about Station 16 overflowing soup down?
So Benny founded that one, I think.
I found a lot.
I
of
mean, the
things.
mask.
All right, ready?
The masked
Ladies first.
Right.
Simpsons.
One is real and one is fake.
All right.
The masked Simpsons. That looks like a school-appropriate laptop sticker. Like, you don't have any drug stickers on it. That's good.
I'm gonna say the one on the right is real.
The one on the right.
Yellow.
Okay.
I mean, the one on the right, definitely. The people in the background look more real. The person in the background on the one on the left looks like her face got
Melted a little
melted,
bit.
yeah. And she has spaghetti arms. See, that's tough with the runway, too. Like, even though the outfit itself, it's definitely a little puffy. Like, the people in the background give it away a little bit, too.
So you think the one on the right?
I think the one on the right's real.
All right.
I would be pretty
I
surprised.
tricked you. They're both fake.
Really?
Oh,
One on the right.
The one on
Okay.
the
Well,
right.
you can't tell us one is real and one is fake.
Well, that's part of my game. Okay, it's my game.
I was
like-
went with it. I was like, that's cool.
so I don't make the rules.
This was created just now by Curtin.
Okay.
This I found on.
Is that one MJ5? Yeah, it does a lot better job with like people.
It's the hardest one to figure out,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
But people are starting to crack it. They've figured out how to mess with the noise layers.
Okay.
They've started to crack.
That's
it
like a different variable. I can't just do that in MJ5.
No, like people have like started to like train new models. Like MJ5, like the very first Midjourney beta, like I remember the preview, like it was Stable Diffusion, but like they have their own whole ass model, and they've made all sorts of insane improvements that they didn't really clue people into, of course, as a for-profit business, but very recently people have started to crack how stuff like MJ5 is built. Like my own model that a friend and I are using for app we're releasing soon is like better than MJ4. It's not MJ5, but...
Well,
All
see,
right.
like I like going.
You guys
between
ready?
the two,
Yeah,
too.
so ready.
I'm gonna show you 2 pictures. I'm not gonna tell you which one is real.
Okay, they both can
Psychology
be fucking AI.
would
They
suggest
can both
they're
be
both
AI.
real.
They both could be real. One could be
Oh
real.
my
One could be
God.
fake. Okay.
This is torture. When we get lied to and gaslit by our own friends.
Aren't you on Twitter?
That's normally my job. That's my job.
Right. That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm supposed to do that. Not.
I'm going to say these are both real.
Both real.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bold with this group. Okay.
He's like, that's bold with this group. That's why I said bold. Like, there's no fucking way. These guys are fucking liars.
Tough call.
Yeah, there's no fucking.
I love my games.
I feel like the one on the right is fake, and it's either fake.
Or real.
One or the other.
All right, I'm gonna say the one on
Dee's
the
got the
right-
rules of the game down now.
The timing on that was crazy.
The one on the right is fake.
Yeah.
The one on the left is real, but a little heavily photoshopped.
Let me see.
That's my final answer.
Deez is correct.
Nice.
The one on the left. Wait, you said the right. The one on the right.
It's fake. The one on the right.
This
fake.
one is fake.
Yes.
Created by Karan just now.
Something about her bone
Elbows.
structure looked awfully
Yeah.
anorexic.
I mean, having seen a lot of actual runways, this feels legit.
I was like staring at her legs, and I'm like, they can't be that skinny. Like, are they?
So I was looking at them as like, because they are that skinny, I think it's real.
That was the reverse. I'm like, that. I just watched a Taylor Swift documentary, and that looks skinnier than when Taylor Swift was basically anorexic. So, like, I think it's.
Okay.
That was basically my line of
Are you
thought.
guys ready?
So ready.
Okay. Just want to make sure I don't get these wrong.
He's triple checking that he knows because
Yeah.
you can't fucking tell. He has to come in and make sure because
Yeah.
Benny's attention span lasts about 3 seconds. And by the time he reads the name and then clears it, he already forgot what he read.
Which is, yeah.
Yeah, but I know what I'm doing. Well, that's a good. No.
We'll rename this one to real.jpg. Double plus.
1 real,
about
2
that
real,
one?
3 real.
But I'm saying I'd wear the other one.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Sorry.
Is
give
there
me
a
one more
world
second.
where like 3D like printing merges with fashion and we get like 3D
Yes.
printed?
Sam J?
Yeah.
He's literally latest
Killing it.
drop right now is he just 3D printed a pair of insane. He
Yep.
designed and modeled a bunch of glasses on
Love
his
it.
own body scan of his own face and created a whole setup of him wearing his own glasses. And now he's getting those 3D printed and created in real
So
life.
like
as well.
accessories, definitely. It's well.
All right.
Sam J is a master of connecting physical and the
I want the
3 this
the
time.
NFT.
3 this time.
I want like the Strange Love hoodies that are like wild.
Yeah.
There's like those like Renaissance
Renaissance
Nike
Nike. Yeah. Very cool.
Where like they look like something I'd wear. It's like a layered hoodie that might have like 3 hoods or like 3 poofy things.
I want all my characters
Okay.
fakes from all
Middle
games.
is real, right and left are fake.
Middle's real, right and left are fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Left and right. Okay. Oh man.
The
The middle one's trippy. That shirt.
But
She's
the
wearing like a shield.
You said the middle is
the
real.
middle's real because like Trompe l'oeil is all over the runway, and that feels like it could have been last season.
See, that's why I'm asking you the questions. This is why it's a good game.
The eyes on the one on the left, I really hope it's AI.
It's okay.
It's a really poor shadow job. It's not. I'm torn on this one on the right. I feel like the left one is fake, but then maybe the middle and the one on the right are real. But then why is the one? I'm like looking at the different models on the catwalk and then second guessing myself.
This is very tough.
I'll say the middle and the right are real, and then we'll go with the left being fake.
Deez is correct
Fucking
again.
Deez, bro. He
Wow.
keeps getting it.
Very good.
So
So
this is
impressed.
proof that I'm putting in fucking time for this art. Like,
You know I live this shit for real, bro.
I'm
see
like
if there's
spending 10 to 20 hours a week in these fucking programs. So like, hopefully I'm
It's worthwhile.
learning a little bit.
People are going to watch
Clearly.
this podcast.
Clearly.
He's just like me for real, bro.
For real.
I'm also lucky. That one was tough.
That was a tough one. That was a
The-
tough one, man.
There's like certain parts of the lady on the right where I'm like, this might not be real.
I
but
was
then I'm
hoping
like,
it wasn't real because it was quite bad
Do you-
fashion.
okay, ready?
oh, it's like a pool party.
What do you guys think of this?
That looks like it's from fucking like a Ben Stiller movie.
Ben Kingsley, maybe?
Like what? which
No, it's really
Zoolander?
it's just from a ridiculous movie.
It's
It
off
was
of
called Flash Gordon. But I always thought they had great clothes.
Like
I
the
just wanted to
Flash?
show you. Not the Flash.
Flash.
Flash
Flash
Gordon.
Gordon. It's very different.
Tell me about it.
He was like a football star in the Jets, and he somehow got into a rocket ship with the guy who played Tevye from...
He got a rocket ship?
He got into a rocket ship with the guy who plays Tevye from Fiddler on the Roof. I don't know how this happened. And they go on...
Was this not a Disney movie?
No, it was a movie.
I'm
And they
thinking of
fly
Flash
to Mars, I
Definitely
believe.
not a Pixar movie.
And he finds this evil guy who runs the planet.
It's the football Space Jam.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you've never
Football
seen
Space
it,
Jam is
if you've
really
never
good.
seen it, you should watch it.
Have
Okay.
you seen Space Jam?
No, I haven't seen Space.
That's an American staple. It's like they took our biggest
Last
athlete at the time and then put him in a movie with like some of the biggest cartoon characters. And then us as kids just grew up and like, this is Jesus.
Yeah, and then they try to like redo it, and
And then they redid it
was
with LeBron.
terrible.
It was woke, and people hated it because it wasn't made in the 90s. And like the nostalgia was gone.
Yeah.
Like
I
when you
mean,
take an idea that
remaking anything that was made in the 90s is...
Space Jam was never very close to me in my heart as an immigrant. You know, as a son of immigrants. I got to tell you, I grew up with Dr. Seuss' Cat in the Hat.
I mean,
Mike Myers.
same.
Mike Myers version.
the Mike Myers version.
Mike Myers with Alec Baldwin. Yeah.
Did you say anything?
Yeah.
I watch it with my kids all the
It's
time.
An insane with indoor stair luge. I live for the indoor stair luge.
It's
man. You gotta
it's a
watch it.
ridiculous
It's
movie.
ridiculous. It is like should be rated R.
I used to just love all the.
Yeah,
Johnny-
it's like not
Should be rated
it's not
R.
a kids movie. That's the
Not-
problem.
It's rated G.
Is it?
It's rated G.
No way.
Yeah, because it came out then. You know what I mean? Mike Myers is
Different
this. It
times.
couldn't possibly be anything bad, even though he chops off his own tail and basically curses.
No, and he
Mike Myers
makes
now,
sexual jokes all the
so
time.
many sexual
Yeah,
jokes.
it's a little
The
crazy.
Austin Power movies.
Stuff. It's crazy.
The Austin Power movie.
Last
Did you grow up with those?
I mean, yes.
Gold member?
Yeah.
Oh,
Beyonce?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Austin Powers.
I kind of want to just watch old movies after this week. Like, I'm reliving, we're talking about Scary Movie, like the parody. They
Oh,
really-
Scary Movie. Yeah.
Spaceballs.
Solid.
Anyone remember that one?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I haven't seen
Feel
it.
free to
Wars
move like the
parody.
screen side to side if you need to. But this are the last three.
Okay, last three.
Okay,
I really need to do well on this.
you're
I mean,
killing
you-
it. I'm not
you
gonna
have
lie.
set a certain
You can't fuck up your multiplier, bro.
No, this is like the last 15 seconds of the Guitar Hero song, and you haven't missed a single note, and you're just
Yeah,
like, I know.
God mode.
This is the difference between first place and not on the
Not,
rankings.
Oh, my goodness.
100%.
that. Keep our fingers crossed. It's tough. The point of this is it's fucking tough. And
Well, I think also the point is what I'm trying to say is like you have an AI expert here, you have a fashion Web3 expert over there, right?
it's fashion expert, yeah.
Yeah, with
And then you have me. I'm just an idiot.
right. But what they're
Oh,
creating,
yeah,
what you're both
no idea.
what you're both creating. The crazy thing is, what you're both creating is what's fascinating about it is that you're creating sort of like, it just proves that like all this technology that we're using it doesn't matter, right? Like, you know,
Doesn't matter.
Well, because she could create amazing stuff using his tools, and people are, you know, all three of them are AI. Okay.
Well, this stuff is built off of human labor, you know. I understand a lot of artists saying, like, you know, dude, like, this is built off, like, everyone's work and, like, this and that. Like, I've definitely, like, kind of slowed down from, like, using public models to mint art anymore because of that kind of stuff. So I kind of, like, just build shit. Like, a lot of my newer stuff is just all, like, abstract generative shit because we've kind of, like, all tried to be like, you know what? We're going to move away from, like, selling NFTs of this like stuff that's built from like other people's work from like a sales perspective, and we'll make our own models from scratch. But like from a general utility perspective, like fuck you,
So,
you put it on the internet.
this one's tough.
This is good for the whole world.
I think that's definitely
you know what I
fake.
mean. Like anything that anyone
there's
puts
a high
out and puts on the
likelihood that
internet for
one's
everyone to
fake.
absorb, someone else can
And
be
this
inspired
one is
and
the
learn
most
from,
likely to
like
be real,
act
but
off
the
of.
proportion
Sorry
on her
that
waist
my thing can do it in seconds instead of years.
make me
You
think
know
it's
what I
also
mean?
fake.
Like
What's your final answer?
I don't want to exploit artists for their to
So-
make money selling art, but I do think like if we can create better aesthetic in the world,
Yeah.
and we can catalyze the speed at which like our sense for fashion and creativity grows.
My
And
final
if you want to be a
answer is
Neanderthal about it, you
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
like,
and the concept of what art is gets redefined
We have final
every
answers.
generation
Yeah,
anyway. So,
final answer.
Show that to the camera so we remember.
okay, what was your answer,
I
Dees?
think they're all fake.
Oh, okay, same.
Or the lady on the right, her waist is one of the smallest waists I've ever seen.
This is fake.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is real,
Okay.
How?
and this is real.
I knew the other two were real too.
Interesting.
This middle one's real?
Yeah.
So, like,
It's the
width
photography
of
that is,
her-
like-
Yeah.
the width of her
It's just a
shirt
shot.
with the way that her hand is, it looks like
Yeah.
it's like cut.
Yeah, it's like the knee looks really
The blue
weird
lady,
as well.
I would wear the blue fit.
And
I
then
would wear that fit. That
in
fit
the
is
one on the
crazy.
left is like the shirt, but the shirt placket isn't there. So I guess it's just
And
the
the
lighting.
shirts are all different. So, like, this guy's wrist cuff has a button, but then
Yeah.
the next one didn't. And I thought, oh, well, they're trying to wear the same outfit, but they're clearly not the same. So that's interesting.
There we go.
So they went for a whole red.
So the question really is, if you sat here and I'm curious and being like in depth and amazing. Obviously, I probably have amazing style and fashion, right? And you went and
Obvious.
said this to this gentleman over here. The tools that you got with those tools, there's just probably most amazing fashion that you guys.
Yeah, I have loved using AI just to generate concept art for stuff. I think especially because like I am a designer, I'm not an artist. Like usually I will figure out a collection in my head and go straight to creating tech specs for it.
Right.
I don't sit there with like a sketchbook for weeks. So if I can especially when I'm trying to communicate designs to others, like I can spend 10 minutes with an AI model to...
Yeah, and that's not cheating. Like I think that's something like I want.
It's just efficient.
Yeah,
You could fine tune a model on all of your designs,
Yeah.
and then make it
Yeah.
make shit in your style completely if you want.
we were talking about Claire, and I was talking to you about the same thing, Claire Silver. Like people are always like, "Oh, you know, she's taking tools and blah 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 and this." But the truth is, like, she's becoming more efficient, and her as an artist and the things that she's creating, which are beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, we've just
And there's
we've just
nothing wrong with
created
There's
a
a lot of
fashion
awareness
collection
in the
together.
community. She brings a lot of people into the community.
Right,
She helps
100%.
create
Yeah.
appreciation.
You were
The
telling
AI
me
art
about
space
how that
wouldn't-
really is important to you.
It wouldn't matter. Like the AI art space wouldn't be where it is today without
her
people
being
like
a
Claire.
face of it.
Absolutely. And it's not like, oh, like you don't know how to blah blah blah. Like Claire's been learning throughout the whole time, and she's a
And
perfect,
sharing
she's a
it.
perfect like story and example of like documenting somebody's journey from no code to actually being an incredibly successful AI artist. Like that's kind of what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know. Like,
And I think that's the message I kind of feel like we do need to get across to people. Like, Deez does some amazing stuff you do. Like, you really create amazing stuff. But, like, these tools are not something that we should be scared about. We should embrace them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like how do I make
How do I make-
myself better, my work better,
Exactly.
everything better, and it's
1000%.
it would be like
How can we make the
so-
world better? How could you make what you're doing better in fashion? How could you make podcasts better? How could you make education better? I think all of these tools, if we're utilizing them the right way, that's the
Yeah.
success.
I mean,
of
even
the
like
process.
building the UGC tools for Restless. Like, we're figuring out now all the areas that AI can be integrated, because like one will be, to future proof. Otherwise we're going to be completely out of date by the end of the year if we haven't factored that into anything. And two, because it makes the creator tools better for creators.
Right.
Like, and there's no like two
Making
ways
better
about that.
making. Say that again.
So it makes the creator tools better for creators if we're
so
integrating
creators
AI.
can create more,
Yeah.
more efficiently and better. All right. Well, with that, we're going to ask you guys one more question. These
Question
you
I ask
ready?
everybody.
Yep.
You're shipwrecked on the island. You have a boombox. You can only bring one album to play in the boombox.
Pornography by The Cure.
Oof. That was the quickest answer by far.
42 minutes of just pure incredibleness.
That was impressive.
Wow. Like, literally, that was the fastest answer we got.
Normally it's like, I have to pick an
Think
album.
about it.
Oh my god.
Heard thinking about it. Would you?
I know.
Oh yeah.
Sade Greatest Hits Collection.
Oh, strong.
Oh, the greatest hits. That's
Okay.
not like a cheat code. That's smart.
It is a cheat code, but it is one album.
Well, that's why he does AI.
I just like, it's not my favorite album in the whole world, but if I was stranded on a desert island with a boombox, that's definitely the album.
And it's us on the ship, and you have to play the music.
Yeah.
For all of us.
Oh, I thought we were shipwrecked.
We are.
shipwrecked
Yeah,
together.
with the
Oh,
boombox.
we're shipwrecked
This
together?
is before we
Yeah.
eat each other.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of like the premise of the show in a way.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I was alone. That's like, smooth, self-love album.
Yeah. no, it's good because we didn't specify.
I'm with the four of us.
I think
in
most
particular,
people,
right?
Four of us.
Most people answer it like
Human
you
After
did.
All by Daft Punk.
Okay.
I would play Brainwasher before killing all of you.
Okay.
Strong.
These are the two most honest answers we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
Mine's
I
just edgy.
appreciate this.
It's not really
No,
bad.
it's edgy and honest.
I can't kill.
I mean, you say that now, but when on the desert
I'm
island,
not hungry right now, really.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
also-
when hangry.
Yeah.
Skin.
Yeah, you can wear my skin.
I would just put on the music. That's the music that would
Honest-
motivate me
Take
to
Red
kill.
Bull
Wait a
out
minute.
and wear skin.
wear
Put on
my
the music,
skin,
put on
warm
the
you
skin.
up, right? By the way, it would be okay because I feel like if we crash landed on we whatever it's called shipwreck, you would build us an AI that would just find us food.
You act like I have any knowledge of building hardware or anything to all those
Bro,
steps
we
before.
got some sand and get some
You're
silicon.
right, I'll
and
just create an
fucking-
analog
coconuts.
computer for my poop and pee.
Yeah, exactly.
And coconut.
We'll do
Our
whatever.
ancestors did it.
What was that movie with the family?
You're right.
It only
They
took
all
us,
did it in
only
one
took us
lifetime.
10
Swiss Family
years.
Robinson
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
you know?
Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah, like Robinson Crusoe. Like, we'll create like a fucking like amazing treehouse and you'll have a robot there.
If I was on a stranded island, the
Yeah.
first thing I would make is something to make
Pizza.
wanking more pleasurable.
Okay.
That's the first thing I'd
I'd build a brick up.
because I
and
need to
pizza.
distract myself from the hellish new landscape. The second thing I'd look for is food.
That's fair.
So-
I have been on a desert island for 2 weeks where I had to like hunt, forage, fish.
Completely
Hold on.
Completely
We need 5 more
from
minutes.
scratch?
Hold on.
Completely.
Hold
yeah.
on. Everybody upstairs,
Did
need
you
5 more
get
minutes.
dropped off? Did you get shipwrecked?
Yeah. Can we
It's-
You were shipwrecked.
What's the
and you didn't
context?
tell us about
Okay,
this.
so when I was in my early teens, I sailed to New Zealand from the UK with my parents, and there were some islands we went to that were completely uninhabited, and you don't have like provisions, so you just have to like go onto the island and catch stuff to eat.
This is crazy.
So
You just
how
got to
long
this
was that
island,
trip?
and it was like, hey guys,
2 years.
2 years of sailing.
Yeah, well, 2 years of like sailing plus being in places, including the occasional desert island.
Did
That
you
sounds
bring
like-
any food with you onto the island?
Yeah, so you bring.
All right.
You can kind of like have provisions for maybe a month, but like if you're crossing the Pacific, right, that's a month, and then you get to islands that are just like coral atolls
So
that
you're on
nobody
an
lives
island
on.
with nothing on you,
Nothing.
food-wise.
Do
You have tools?
Yeah, you have tools.
You bring the tools with you.
You bring the tools
Brought
with
Was
you.
it
tools
just
to
the three
kill
of you?
and hunt?
Yeah.
So what were you guys hunting and stuff? What were you doing?
Yeah, what'd you kill?
So it was mostly like land crabs,
Okay.
and then fishing, and then like picking breadfruit, and then you'd like make a fire on the island, and
So you were out on the island with like guns, like
no guns
Looking
required.
for-
Bows? Swords?
Did
just
you kill any,
swords.
did you kill any large
Anything?
animals ever?
No, didn't need to. I mean, you're like
So you ate
surrounded
a lot
by
of crab.
ate a lot of fish,
Wow, imagine being allergic.
Did you? So you fished a lot.
fished a lot, and yeah.
How big of a boat was this?
Like 39-foot converted wooden fishing boat, very
How-
like classic, looked like an old pirate ship.
How old were you again?
13 when we left, 15 when we arrived.
And you just started murking crabs on land.
Fucking murking crabs, yeah. It's like it was very much like a machete situation.
You were like your parents, like, yo, we're just gonna like skip high school.
Yeah, I missed 2 years of school
To kill crabs.
Yeah,
And
it was a
now
much
you're
better
building
learning
a
experience.
Web3
Now I'm
fashion-
it all
fashion
links in.
company.
Like I was, when you're like at sea for fucking 4 weeks as a 14-year-old, what are you going to do apart from like plan your entire career?
Wow.
So I got to New Zealand
course,
when
naturally,
I got to New
14.
Zealand when I was 15, started my brand, and
Do you
Full circle.
Can I ask you
Here we are
a couple
now.
more questions on this because it's fascinating.
Yeah, why don't you start with like, hey, I'm way cooler than all of you.
All right.
I feel like it's a
Another
nice
pod.
finisher, no?
Another pod. We have to come back. One more question. Sorry, just ask. Were you ever like caught like in a huge rainstorm where you thought like that's it, I'm gonna die?
What's the scariest time you've had
So we actually had to perform a Mayday rescue in the middle of the Atlantic. So I heard the Mayday come over the short range radio, and this boat basically it had been falling apart over 3 days. They hadn't been able to get in touch with anyone. They didn't have a long range radio, and their mast was about to come down. So we had to like middle of the Atlantic. We had to like kind of turn around against the elements and come back to. We had a satellite phone on board, so we called Falmouth Coast Guard, Norfolk Coast Guard. They're like, you're the only vessel in the area. Can you perform the rescue? Obviously, yes. We're not going to let these two people like drown in the middle of the Atlantic. So we get back there. It's like pretty high seas. It's dark. We have to try and get the boat close enough without obviously crashing the boats and sinking both of us, which is really hard on like these big like kind of pyramid seas. So we spent probably about like 20 minutes trying to get a rope between the two boats to be able to get like a life raft across. It was like me and my mum like just like hanging off the edge of the boat with like hooks trying to catch it, and eventually a wave threw the buoy on the end of the rope up, and it like wrapped itself around the top side of our boat. So it became attached. Thank you, fate. And then then the rope is attached. These guys need to come across in their life raft. They throw it over the side. It inflates, first of all, first of all, it doesn't inflate. Second time, it inflates upside down. The third time, they finally get the life raft going. They made it across. They'd been like there for 3 days, not able to get in touch with anyone. Like their eyes were like yellow with fear. Like they'd just been, waiting to die for 3 days. They arrive on our boat with a bag that is literally all of their belongings in the world because they had no insurance. They couldn't afford insurance, and they like packed up, sold their entire life to do the sailing trip. The boat was called Sydney because they were going to be sailing to Sydney and then getting married there. So we got them on the boat. They had to scupper their boat, basically let water into it so it wasn't a hazard. So we were sat there in the dark, just like watching the mast like gradually sink.
Down.
That must have been heartbreaking.
It was,
That's
like,
incredible.
fucking
I'm just trying to
insane.
point one thing out. If you ate them, nobody would have known.
But we did have provisions at that time, so.
So,
But nobody- yeah.
if you didn't and you ate them, like nobody, that's it. They would have been like, you could have
There's
just
no
gotten away with it.
Amazon
There's no,
ring
nobody.
Yeah,
would
no,
find
we
out.
could. It definitely, we discussed it and thought, like, well, actually, we have enough ingredients for a pasta salad, so maybe not this time.
100%. And on that note, guys, thank you so much. Deez, I'll let you close it out.
She's a lifesaver.
She's a lifesaver and eats humans occasionally.
Pasta salad.
Pasta salad.
Yeah, I don't even think I can close it up.
No,
I just want to
that's
thank
fair.
you for joining us and for going on this adventure
Yes.
with us. We didn't know what we were getting into.
Yeah.
And
Amazing story.
we could have got into a lot more.
I
But
think we'll have to have him again.
I feel like when we went with the name Shipwrecked, we
Yeah.
should have asked.
Has
Well,
anyone
have you
actually
ever
been
shipwrecked?
shipwrecked
Have you ever
before?
been? Because we
Yeah.
could have just jumped into
that
that.
whole conversation.
I
We're
kind
gonna
of
have to try
blame
again.
you for knowing about the whole theme. Because when I got here, you guys were talking about it.
Well, we didn't
And
know,
you
though.
waited until the very end.
She's dropped
to
that
be
spot.
like-
But, dramatic
Before we leave.
effect.
You waited for like the perfect moment.
Drop the mic.
I
walk
waited
off.
for the perfect
Do me a
moment,
favor,
exactly.
Drop it and just walk off because
Yeah.
that's exactly what you just did. It's like perfect.
But that was awesome.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really, we'll have to have you on again.
I
Amazing
want to
stuff.
spend another hour just asking
Yeah.
about the
We can do an actual Shipwrecked.
Yes. We'll
Episode.
now I have a lot of
Benny
questions.
and
for
I
you.
spent 3 days in a boat that is
Slowly
sinking,
sinking.
and we don't eat each other,
Yeah.
and we wait for a short distance radio to come save us.
And it was
That's the next episode.
And it turns out it was Charlie.
Turns out it was me.
Let's go. All
She
right.
shows up and she's like, "Hey guys,
Yeah.
I hope you're ready."
She's like, I don't have enough.
I
food."
ran out of provisions.
I'll save you guys for dessert.
Yeah.
By the way,
It's like for a price.
Each
A limb.
ring that Charlie has in her hand, by the way, represents
Represents
a person she
somebody
ate.
that I've eaten, yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it.